Okay, I'm up here for my birthday weekend. I brought some tires up. I just brought them up. I'm going to stack them over here. I don't plan on doing anything with those. What I do plan on doing is digging sandbags for the next 3 days. I'm sure I may break up the monotony with doing other maybe little projects or cooking or eating. Last time I came up here, I cleaned up with the lawnmower and the weed whacker. But now that the truck bed was empty and didn't have tools and lawnmowers and stuff like that, I brought up a bunch of tires. I'm going to stack them over here on the front until I figure out what to do with them. When I did come up that time, there was a copperhead snake inside the structure. So I brought myself a spear. So I've got this. So if there is a copperhead or something like that, I should be able to stab them and hold them down. Maybe even shoot them with my sidearm. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully there's nothing in there and I don't have to do that. Before that happens, I am going to unload my supplies. So I'm going to start the collection. That's the first truckload of tires. Alright, so I got my flashlight, I got my spear. Last time I saw him, he was sitting right there on that corner. So let's come around this way. Okay, looks pretty uninhabited. Alright, so first step's gonna be to cut this stuff off and set up camp in here for the night. Alright. Cleared that out of there. It was holding water. Holding some water in there, so wasn't good, but I wouldn't let it dry out. Let's give you. So I'm gonna take my staple. I'm gonna go around the top edge and staple it on there, make sure it's really good. And then I'm gonna put some verticals in here to just reinforce the walls as I build them up. I found a bunch of planks that was gonna use for the deck, which I think I'm gonna not do. And so I should be able to finish this up. Makes it hard for animals to, things like copperhead snakes and field mice and stuff like that, from hiding. That is that. Nice and cleared out. That's it. Okay, so it's getting hot. I need to get some food in me. It's almost lunch. There's still shade over on the pallet deck, so I'm gonna sit over there. I'm gonna get some shade. I'm gonna wash up with some cold water. And I'm gonna make myself some stew, so I can have a nice full belly to spend the rest of the evening out here doing this. But you can see how it would work on the corners. Might have to adjust it a little bit. Looks like it goes back. I have to pull that bottom one out a little bit. So I pushed the bottom row out just ever so slightly, so it could take advantage of the slight incline of this wall. I don't know if that's a good decision or not, but that's what I'm doing. We'll find out. Okay, well, that's day 1 of sandbags. I did the bottom row a little bit here, a little bit there to test it out, see what it's like. Today I did the whole day just digging sandbags, and this is how much I got done. And that's because it was super hot and I had to take breaks, had to eat, had to get some air conditioning so I wouldn't overheat, drink water, those kind of things, which slowed me down. So I think in the fall this will go quicker. So a quick tour. There's the update on the Wilda garden. I got the rocks going. I got some small rocks I'll show you here shortly. The wall, almost done. Halfway up, looks good. Looks really good. And then the trench. This is where the trench, we're gonna walk down here. All this stuff will move out, and I'll probably have tires, a tire stairway, tire step down. And this will be way deeper than it is. This is just the first layer. It's got to go down like 4 times this much. And there it is on the inside. It's going to go further back. I'm going to maybe do some tonight. I don't know, I'm pretty exhausted. See all these loose rocks? I'm going to put all these loose rocks. Oh yeah, and I pulled up all these rocks too. Digging. And these. I'm going to put all the loose rocks and small ones around here to fill in the cracks. Then I'll put the small sandbags on top. So step 1 was to clear out the land, and that ended up being in 2 parts. So step 1 was 2 parts. Step 2 was the wall, which was part 3. Step 3 was the roof, which is part 4. And here we are on part 4, or step 4, which is part 5, which is the first sandbag build. The next one will be 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So we're only on step 4. But because these steps take more than one trip, and I don't do this for a living, I have to make a living still. So between work and family and stuff like that, I'm getting it as much as more now than ever. So I do plan on coming up again. I'll be working, so there will be a next step on sandbags. I figured out that the walls need to be kind of slanted in a little bit. Figured that out on the back wall. That'll actually help the wall. So what I'm going to do is on the outside side walls, and especially this wall that I'm leaning against right now, I'm going to put another wall that is leaning the other way. One, it'll help support the structure because it's a slant holding it up, and I'll stake it down. 2, it'll allow me to stack the sandbags to make it at an angle, which makes it a little bit of a stronger structure. So this wall's going to actually have probably the most angle, because the idea is I'd like to be able to climb up this way onto the roof. So this one will have a steeper angle. Not so steep that it'll be like steps, okay, but it'll be fairly steep. Steeper than the other walls. And the other walls, they'll still have a small incline leaning towards the center, while the walls are straight. And then on the inside, I still haven't decided. I'm still leaning towards sandbagging on the inside as well. I like the way it looks. I like the way it makes it feel. If there's enough sandbags, I'll do that. I definitely have to put some vertical supports on the inside, because all I have is horizontal supports. And if that plywood were to buckle because of weight, the whole thing would come down. So I'm going to put some vertical supports. I'll use probably nothing too strong, just the Pallet planks, which is a 1 by 3.5 or something like that, or 1/2 inch by. It's enough to just give it a little bit of vertical structure. I don't want to plank it off completely, because field mice and rattlesnakes get stuck or like to hide up inside there. So this is why I'm leaning towards not sandbagging the inside. If I do, it's only going to be a little bit for design and around windows and around the edge and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's still I'm not sure how the walls will turn out. We're just kind of digging bags and building it as we go, so we'll see how it turns out. Well, this is the first half of this back wall. I'm at the height where I want to start figuring out where I want to cut the window. So on my next trip, I'll focus on building the side walls down on both sides and then probably cut these windows sometime. But I want to take the walls around that side and that side and around the front at this level all the way around before I build it higher. It'll make it stronger as I build. So this is as high as I'm going. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be 6, 7, 8. 8 to the top. 9 if you count the roof. It'll be 10. Because the level 9 is still going to have this gap. I'm gonna try to use actual roofing material because I'm going to put a lot of weight. As you'll see at the end of this video, I've moved all the wood pile from one side to down the side of the path. Those are possible beams depending on how structurally sound they are once I do further inspection. But I'm trying to not spend a lot of money, if any. So this is why we're doing pallets. Sandbags was a cheaper way of going instead of cinder block. But this is going to be base camp. Thanks again for watching Minuteman Mountain. See you next time. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna clean up and go home.